All right, guys, so today we are going to be talking about, as I mentioned, what I'm doing with Bitcoin right now. I'm going to be talking about my altcoin strategy later today. It's 7 to 9, so definitely be on the lookout for that video as well. But today, what I'm looking at with Bitcoin, I'm taking a longer-term mindset. I saw some really interesting information today that lines up with what I've been telling you guys for a year and a half now with where I think Bitcoin is going. We're going to be talking a little bit about what has happened with the stock to flow chart. And like I mentioned, we're going to be talking about my trades. So let's start talking about my trades right now. But guys, as far as what I'm doing with trades, yesterday I entered a long position at 49,900. I ended up actually going, it dropped down to 48,500. I added more position at that point. So my average entry is, somewhere like 49.2, something like that. I've not added anything to it. I was in some pretty good profit yesterday, and I probably should have locked it in. I didn't because I'm expecting a pretty big move. But regardless, here's the thing. My liquidation point is, my stop loss is lower than 47,000. I told you guys before, I do not believe we're going to see Bitcoin go below the $47,000 area. Now, why is this important? Well, it's important because there's so much buying volume. There has been so much buying volume in that $47,000 number from institutions, from corporations, from individuals, from retailers. Basically, every person under the sun was buying at 47K. Now, we need to separate two things from each other. Number one, can it possibly go below $47,000? Well, yes, it can. If it does go below $47,000, then what you're looking at is a level that's going to get plunged through that is very, very, very strong. However, that's still within the range of Bitcoin's average corrections within bull markets. So what that means is Bitcoin can go down to as low as 42,000, which would wipe out basically the entire years of gains, the entire 2021 gain season, if you will. But it could still go down to 42,000, really maybe even 41,000, and still be within the normal correction zone of a bull market. So that's first. But number two, the thing that's very bad if it goes below 47K is that what we see with these really, really, really strong levels is that once the level gets broken, a very hard line of support will turn into a very hard line of resistance. So I'm worried from that perspective, if we do plunge below this $47,000 level, that it will be really hard to get back over it, and we could range for about a month or so, which would not be great for Bitcoin. We don't want to see that. We don't want to see the excitement die down. We don't want to see the momentum die down. We don't want to see that. But a good correction is fairly healthy for the market. If we were to go and look at the stock to flow chart, what you will see is that we've actually retreated back to the mean on the stock to flow. We had been well ahead of this bull market, looking like crazy numbers coming in the future. And I still believe that's going to happen. If you go and look at the stock to flow chart from 2017, what you would notice is it actually spent most of the beginning of the bull run lagging behind the average for the stock to flow chart. So what's really interesting is we've been well above it, and now we've dipped right to the line, to the average of the stock to flow price, and we've touched it, okay? 2017, we spent most of the time behind the line, and actually, if you really compare about where we're at in this bull market to where we were in the previous bull market, we got a major correction around the same time, but instead of it dropping to the line in 2017, it dropped way below the line. It actually looked like that bull run was in trouble when the price of Bitcoin was around $1,800 per coin. So pretty crazy to think about. But so the point here is this. The stock to flow chart is showing nothing concerning. Actually, Dan Moorhead of Pantera Capital, who has a total high point price prediction for Bitcoin at $120,000 in August, showed a chart where he showed the price of Bitcoin exactly at where they said it was going to be. They said it would hit $63,000 in April to stay on that track to get to 120,000, or maybe it's 115,000 by August. And we did it in April. We actually touched 64,800 or 64,900, somewhere around there. What does the Pantera Capital track show for Bitcoin in May? Well, they actually show a 74,000 technically, dollar Bitcoin in May. So we're still on track for everything. Everything still looks fine. There's no reason to panic, no reason to worry. I will be a little concerned if we were to plunge past that $47,000 level. But like I said in the beginning, and I'm going to say it again now, I do not believe that we are going to see that. Now, what's really interesting about the Dan Morehead Pantera Capital prediction is this. They say $115,000 to $120,000 by August. I say $322,000 by September 28th. Now, who's right here? Well, I think we'll both be right, because I've told you guys this many times before. The 8th and 9th inning of these bull runs is so crazy, and the action is the most parabolic, that I believe we could easily hit $120,000 in August, and then still, within 6 weeks from that, peak out at $322,000. Can't remember my own predictions. Is it 323 or 322? I can't even remember. But right there, somewhere close to that number, is where I believe we will see Bitcoin go. So I think that Dan Morehead, when they came up with their prediction, they just basically discounted the length of this bull run by about a month. And so I still believe we're going to see that. I don't think we're going to go below $47,000. Like I've told you guys many times, I actually personally believe, and this sounded much better when the price of Bitcoin was at $65,000. But I've told you guys for 2 months now, I don't think we'll ever see Bitcoin below $47,000. You just had Grayscale come in and buy 100,000 Bitcoin, or buy, maybe not 100,000 Bitcoin. It was, they bought $1 billion worth of Bitcoin at $50,000. And when you look at that $47,000 number, we bounced off of 47,500. Why? Well, because a lot of times, I've talked many times about this, when you have these big numbers that people talk about and they throw around a lot, what you'll see is they get a slightly higher price gets baked in, because a lot of people are wanting to catch it before it actually gets to that number. So to me, there's no shock in the fact that the price went down to $47,500 and bounced. I personally don't think we're going to double bottom off that. We may. And once again, guys, I do want to say, like, I could be wrong. We could go below $47,000 and still be in a fine range. I just personally don't think we're going to do that. And that's what I'm basing my current trades on. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to drop a like down below. That's all I got. Be blessed. BitBoy out.